All right, and we are streaming. Hi,
Yay!
I'm Pox.
I'm Couch Guy. And today we have a show. Pox is still playing with his knobs. Can you tell?
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, there's no technical difficulties. Let's just go. There's never a technical difficulty. He's just wanting to twist a button some more.
Yeah, I almost had it all planned out. Yeah, this week. Oh, wait, this is the Two Smart Guys show, and every week or so we do a live presentation lately.
Every week. Every week. So, how rude.
And this week I want to just talk about the advantages of solid-state drives, or SSDs.
Yeah, because they've come down in price enough that you basically should buy one now.
Yeah. So
They've hit that magic sub $100 level for a moderately sized hard drive.
yeah, they're
Right? So
they're
fair.
not the answer for everything,
No.
but you should be running your operating system on them and your programs on them at least.
So here are the things that the key places that you will be better off if you ran your SSD. If you are your boot drive, period. Doesn't matter what system you're running, how you're doing it. A boot drive, period, is a place to put it.
You'll be going from a
Not
boot time
your
of
main
like
storage.
a minute down to like 10 seconds.
Okay. 2, your gaming console. A PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4, putting an SSD in there, kind of a cool thing. Number 3, if you are in the media field and you want to use, let's say you're doing After Effects and you're using part of your hard drive as RAM caching, use an SSD.
Oh yeah.
It's purely fast. And then if you're doing that and you just put like, even if you bought a small one, we're talking 60, 80, 128 gigs of SSD, we're talking sub $100 level at this point, you will see a dramatic increase in speed on that area. I've seen for RAM previews, things like that. I've seen some really interesting things talked about. So those are some major speed increases. You can also use them, anytime that you're going to use your hard drive for gaming and things like that. You want to store the programs on there. You don't put your storage on the same location. So if you're doing Photoshop, things like that, you don't put your Photoshop files on the SSD.
Yeah.
You put the Photoshop files on the RAID.
Yeah, if you got your videos and they're taking up a couple terabytes, it's not the cheapest option to go with solid state disks.
And in reality, we're going to see more and more solid-state disks because we're, not just because they're just faster, but because more and more technology is starting to use that speed rather than putting RAM or even using, in our case, some cameras and recording devices for cameras want to start using those because they don't want to use a disk or a card or a chip, or it's kind of in your hands at that point.
Yeah, even on the compact flash and SD cards, they've gone like when they first came out, they're only pushing like a couple megabytes a second to now they're going upwards of like 500 megabytes a second.
Yeah, and you know what? When you can hit now, there are some things to be concerned about. You need to be an educated consumer, and this is how we feel about most things. It is very easy if you're like me and you're a cheapskate. I'm hugely a cheapskate. I have no problem admitting that. But here's where I make my homework and make it count. I have to do my homework when I'm looking for super cheap items or trying to make sure I'm getting the cheapest for whatever I want, because there are scams out there, and the biggest scam, it's not really as much of a scam as it is just a fallacy, is that all SSDs are created equally.
No.
So you'll find a super cheap SSD, but it doesn't have the speed read-write that it should. That's going to give you a poor experience for an SSD.
Yeah,
Make sure you read the comments, make sure you read the reviews, make sure you do your homework on it so you don't just jump in and be like, oh, I'm just going to have the cheapest
like
one.
the current generation of the Samsung drives are literally twice as fast as the previous generation. So you can get a good deal on the previous generation, but it's only like maybe $20 less than the new one.
Yeah.
I'd spring the extra money and get the newest generation.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's see if I can even read some of the specs on some of these. 540 megabits per second on some of these sustained drives. That's a terabyte drive,
and it's
for $450.
And it's not
now that
just,
sounds like a lot of.
the speed, like the sustained data rates, it's the seek time is like instantaneous.
Yeah.
So when you're accessing small files across a hard drive, there's literally a head spin, going back and forth on a platter, and that's that grinding noise you hear on the whole old hard drives.
Yeah.
So
the spinning sound, you'll hear them spin up and you'll hear them spin down. Yeah. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yep, so you don't
because a lot of hard drives, when they got activated, so they would save. This is an old thing they did. So they would save energy a long time ago. They made them so they weren't spinning constantly all the time. So that's one of the reasons why we went to, those. They hear them spin up, you'd hear them spin down. Things like that.
And if you remember when they first came out with solid state disks, there was a lot of paranoia. You can only write to them so many times and then they die.
Yeah,
they've put a lot of intelligence into them, and it still kind of happens over time. They will wear out eventually, someday.
Absolutely, and it's just like anything else; it has to wear out.
The good news is, from what I'm told, is the majority of pretty much all the time, you can still read your data. You just won't be able to write to them anymore.
Yeah,
so you can get them off, which is nice and good to know.
I just lost my mouse. That's fun. The one thing I noticed also is they have solid-state drives now where they're not just like a box in a thing. If you wanted to, let's say you wanted to have, the one I'm looking at is called a jet drive. It plugs into your eSATA port, or your SATA port, your IDE port, and it's 960 gigs. It just plugs directly in it like a card would.
Oh, yeah.
And it's plop, and you're done. Now, how that shows up on your system, I don't know. But if it shows up as a drive array, then you've got a little, like I said, caching system. And guess what? It didn't take a spot of another SSD or another, slot for a hard drive. So,
from what I'm told, there's also the hybrid drives, and those are pretty good. They'll have a small amount of SSD and a regular hard drive. And people have been plopping those into the PS4s, and apparently they make a pretty good speed difference because a lot of it puts all the stuff that you access more often in the solid state portion. Yeah. So like the actual boot up of the system or launching the actual game that you play the most. It's if you can't afford a solid state drive, like a 512 meg drive for $400, but you can afford the hybrid drive for $100 versus the $80 for just a regular hard drive, go for the hybrid drive.
Yeah. And these little cards that pop on the SSDs that are the IDE. What am I talking about here? They pop on
the SATA port, right? What powers them though? They must have to have power.
No, well, I'm reading it. I've never seen these before. Introducing the new Jet Drive SSD upgrade kit for your MacBook Air. Okay, with ProRetina display. So it's aluminum USB 3 enclosure. Reuse your original SSD. So it must be an enclosure device. So that's why. Anyway, it's fun stuff. It's supercharge it with 960, gigs.
Oh, I see. Oh, those are these.
Those are for Mac users if you want to really.
They're just half the size of a regular SD card, so you can just pop them into the side of your MacBook Pro to give you some more storage.
These have them in the back at running out of storage space. They have them popping up the back of your laptop too. Yeah. So there's all kinds of fun stuff. SSDs. The point of the show is start looking at SSDs seriously the next time you're looking for a hard drive purpose, and stop systematically just going for the spinning drives. If you can, if you're just using for your boot, start with your boot drive, get a decent sized one, 200 gigs or something like that, just for a boot drive, and just test it out. Most of everything you're going to deal with is going to be 100% faster.
Oh yeah,
what I'm saying.
What I've been doing at work and just for friends and families, taking an old computer. I mean, even computers from 4 years ago aren't that bad. The slowest part on them is a hard drive. You pop in a 128 SSD, and all they ever do is just browse Facebook and stuff. It makes their system feel like a brand new system, and it's it boots instantly for them, and it works way better.
It's great way to refab a system.
Yeah, for $100, you can give somebody a new system just by upgrading to an SSD.
Tip of the week: look into SSDs. Get yourself. Just do your boot drive. Start there. and really start exploring SSDs.
Yeah.
I'm at Tommy5C on Twitter.
I'm at Walking Crow on Twitter, and we do this show pretty much weekly.
Yeah, we do it Wednesdays. We're live on YouTube. You can catch us on the YouTube channel. You can catch us at, is it live? Is it twosmartguys.com/live?
Yeah, /live.
I keep on trying to go live.twosmartguys.com.
The easiest way is just to subscribe on YouTube. Hit the little subscribe button. It'll notify you when
and then
we
you'll
have
get
live
notifies.
shows.
We'll let you know once we, get shows that are coming up. You'll see a little coming up show. But every week.
Oh, we have one little question, I guess, before we go. This is an excellent video. I have been using solely solid-state drives for the better part of 5 years. Never go back to a slow hard drive. But not many people know about them, even today.
Yeah, the problem is there's a sticker shock.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a huge sticker shock. I upgraded my RAID array, I still thought about buying some, and I didn't, just because it was just, I wasn't willing to pay $200 for it. Let's just be honest. I'm cheap. Now they're sub $200, or sub $100 in some cases, for a size that's actually workable for your boot drive. Do it. Just do your boot drive, and it'll be a fantastic experience.
All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching live and posting a comment. And we'll see you guys next
week.
week.
Yeah, we love comments. Bye.